Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Monday, March 8th, 2021. We're in the final hour of the trading day, which is my favorite time to make my buying and selling decisions for all of my swing trades. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you're staying safe in this crazy market today, and I really do appreciate you coming here and spending your time here, and I hope that the time you're spending here is helping improve your trading and your investing. So currently, man, what a wild day. Just unreal. I mean, I've rarely seen such a huge divergence between the Dow and the NASDAQ. The Dow is currently up 414 points. It's up 1.32%, up nicely. The NASDAQ, however, is down 239 points, down 1.85%. So another big down day on the NASDAQ. The S&P is about unchanged, down 2 points, down 0.05. So, man, what a crazy, crazy day. It's just seen this thing go up and down, and look at the difference between the Dow and the NASDAQ. And I mean, talk about rotation. Holy smokes. So anyway, here is the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we are going to come back. We are going to take a look at my current positions. We're going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. Did have a couple day trades today. Been a struggle even on the day trades. Had one winner, one loser, but I'll share those with you. After that, we're going to go over to the board. We're going to take a look at my my current and my past students' positions on there, and we're going to see how those are going. I see kind of a mixed bag, some red, some green, so at least there's some green over there. After that, we're going to talk a little bit about trader psychology, my favorite part of the podcast, because I think it's the most important, and especially in the last couple of weeks that we've had here, all this volatility can really get your emotions amplified. So I think it's a good time to talk about that. We want to always keep ourselves as calm as possible so that we follow our plans, and so we're always battling fear and greed, euphoria, depression, right? We want to be right in the middle where we make good decisions. So we're going to talk about that. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner. I do have some potential end of day trades that are candidates that I'll look at the end of the day, or as we get closer to the end of the day. And if I find something, I will go ahead and purchase it at the end of the day. I do have 3 requirements before I enter any trade. First requirement, I need to have a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up ideally on multiple time frames. Number 2, I need to have a good risk to reward ratio, meaning that if I'm risking $100, I need to be able to have the real possibility of making $200 or more to the upside in order for it to make sense from a risk to reward standpoint. And then number 3, always take a few moments, take some quiet time in your head. Ask yourself, do I really need to buy this position? Is it a good, clean setup? Does it have a defined risk? Does it have a good risk to reward ratio? Are there confluences or combination of indicators? Do I already have this kind of, do I already have a company that's in this kind of industry? Do I already have that in my positions? Do I really need to add more to that? Do I need to add more risk and more correlation to it? Can I get outside of stocks like bonds, oil, gold, dollar, so I have even more diversification? Think about these things, everyone, before you just blindly go hit that buy button. All right, so I do have some end of day candidates. I'll go through them as we get closer to the end of the day. If I find something, I'll buy it before the close of the market. After the market closes, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. I'm very happy to answer them for you. I'll do my very best to hopefully clarify anything that you did not understand. If you have any stock symbols that you would like me to look at before the close, please let me know. I'm happy to take a look at those and give you my opinion on those as well. And then for any of my students that have positions up on the board, if you have any new entries or exits for me today, if you could please wait till the end of the day so that the market's closed, I'm done trading, I'm done teaching, and then we'll take as much time as we need to get those all updated. Okay, so that's the plan for today. Hang tight. I'm going to run that U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Bye. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, let's see who is here today. Tracy Peterson is here. Good to see you, Tracy. Got your emails. Glad we got that worked out. Hope you're doing well. Johan is here. Hello, Johan. Good to see you, my friend. Johan says, hello, everyone. Lava74 says, hi, everyone. Good to see you, Lava. Hope you are doing well. Johnson Samuel is here. Nice to see you as always, Johnson. Hi, Greg and everyone. Jonathan D. Hello, or hi, Greg and group. Hello, Jonathan. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Kamal is here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Thank you for everything that you do for this podcast. I appreciate it, and I know everyone else does. Frank is here. Also, Frank, thank you for everything that you do with this podcast, with the great poems that you write every day. Always just the best. But good to see you. And Frank says hello and all. Lilia is here. Hello, Lilia. Nice to see you, my friend. Hello, Greg and the group. Happy Monday. And I did get your email. And yeah, either Friday or Saturday is definitely going to work for me. So I just have to check on that and I will get back. Steve Burns is here. Good to see you, my friend. Honor and a privilege to have Steve here always. I certainly sincerely feel that way, and I know everyone else does. So thank you, Steve. And Steve says, hello, everyone. The tech drop and bear wars continue. Yeah. Tech is not having a good time of it at all today. All right. Well, let's get started. Here we go. All right. Gary has a position. I have a half a position. We bought this back here at 72.08. The reason we bought it, we had a double bottom with a bullish divergence. We had the first low with deep red MACD bars. We had a rally with green MACD bars. We came lower on shallow MACD bars. That's a double bottom with the bullish divergence. But even when you have that, you still need a trigger. Our trigger was the under 30, over 30, in the context of having a double bottom and a bullish divergence. We bought here at 72.08, and this has been a great trade. Hit 4 profit targets today, which is hard to do. It is up 2.46% today. It has rejected the 70 RSI, the 50 RSI. So if I take an under 30, over 30, and then it goes up above the 50 RSI and closes back below it, I will sell half of my position. So right now it's at 48.66. It did get above 50. So if it does close under 50 RSI, I will sell half the remaining shares. And that's not half of what I started with. It's just half of what I have remaining. I did hit 4 profit targets here today already, and that took off a lot of the position that I have. So whatever I have, however many shares left I have at the end of the day, because it went over 50 and under 50, I will sell half. If it closes over 50, I will hold it. I don't know. It's possible. It's definitely possible. SPY. I did buy the SPY at the close on Friday at 383.63. I sold it for a profit this morning at 384.69. So nice little overnight SPY trade. That was followed by Thursdays to Fridays big overnight SPY trades. So the overnight SPY trades done pretty well in the last couple days. Obviously went up a lot higher. It's lower now than even where I bought it. So I will be buying this again today at the close, holding it overnight, taking that overnight risk, selling it first thing the next morning. Walmart. So I bought a half position in Walmart. Johnson bought a half position in Walmart. We bought it because of this V2 under 30, over 30. Bought it at 129.23. It's 128.52. It is down 0.46% today. It's just barely holding on to that 30 RSI. That's my end of day stop. And if it does close under 30, I will just have to go ahead, get out, and take the loss. If it holds above 30, I will hold it. Well, here's one I'm glad that I bought half position on. These are the cues. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the day trades first, just so I can clean up this chart. All right, the most recent day trade I took was this under 30, over 30. I did not chase it up here. I waited for it to come back down on the next bar. I got in at 303.40, moved up, didn't take any profits. Finally took some profit here on this big up bar here. Went up, then I had a close below the previous day's low. I had to get out of another half there, and when it got back to my entry point, I got out of half. All right, so that was a profitable trade. That last amount was break even, but was a profitable trade. I did take a trade here also, 303.66. We went under the 30, over the 30, under the negative third, over the negative third, and that one did not last long. It did not hold. Next bar right under, closed out. So this was a loss. This was a gain. So I didn't do a lot of day trading today, actually. All right, so let's get back to the swing trade portion of this. Okay, so it looks like Gary bought at 303.40. I bought at 308.80. Luckily, we both bought half positions. That's all I can say. I like the setup that I took. I like the setup that Gary took, under 30, or the bounce at the 30. I took the V1 under 30, over 30, got in here at 308.80. My stop is halfway the washout bar, which just happens to be Gary's stop loss of 303.30. It's underneath that. Again, you know, when you take losses, try to look at your trade, try to look for something positive. And for me, the positive on this was at least I made a good decision and only bought half a position. So if it closes under 303.40, you know, it's possible it could rally. I don't know. Kind of doubt it, but who knows? But if it does, then I will hold it. As a matter of fact, if it tests this halfway of this washout bar and closes back above, I may just add the second half of the position to give me the full position, that second half giving me a very good risk to reward. Okay. And that is it. Let's take a look over at some of your trades. Tracy and Paxton got into TLT with an under 30, over 30, 139.60. It's currently 138.28. It's down 0.45%. It is under the 30 RSI at the moment. That's the key level. That would be my stop if it closed under 30. You know, it's still within striking distance. It'll be interesting to see what happens here the rest of the day. Amazon. Did no one take Amazon? Okay, I must have just had that up there. Home Depot. Gary has a nice day in Home Depot. He sold Home Depot credit spreads expiring April 6th, the 222.15s, which mean that by April 16th, Gary needs to have the price stay above 220. If he does, he'll make the difference in what he sold the puts at and what he bought the puts at. Looks like he made $51 per contract. Don't know how many contracts he did, but he would get $51 per contract if that is the case. It's up nicely today. It's 260. He wants it to stay away from 220. So nice trade there, Gary. BYD, Tracy, and Paxton did buy BYD way back here at 47.38. Big move up here, really, really nice. Glad they bought it in the value zone. Dipped back down, came back up. They sold half when it went over 70, under 70. After that, I'm sure they are glad that they held half because we had a nice big rally, then a couple days down, but we are up 1.7% today. So not too bad, not too shabby. NVAX. Ooh, this one has been volatile. I'm really glad Frank got out where he did. He bought NVAX at 135. It ran up, almost doubled in price, or more than doubled in price. He sold 90% of his position up here, sold it on strength. That's offense. I like to sell into strength. And when I use trailing stops, I consider that defense. But, you know, you can see it was a good idea to sell into some strength because, I mean, look, it's come not all the way back, but close to all the way back. And, you know, Frank sold 90% up here. So very good, Frank. Tesla. Quad Racer bought Tesla at 698. Initially rallied up, but boy, Tesla has just been in a bad spot. It's down another 6% today. Kamal called the top up here. Very good call on the short. He was short in spirit. I wish he'd have been short in dollars because he would have made a lot of money on the way back down here. But anyway, good call. KMX. What a great day on KMX for Steve and Johan. Very nice. They bought back here with a 520 crossover at 121.84. Was a little sketchy there for a while, but it did hold, and they got rewarded holding on with a 4.18% gain just today, and about almost a 5% move on CarMax. So excellent trade there, Steve and Johan. Lily, Quad Racer bought Lily here at 202.48. I think he got out a half here. I'm not sure. Came back down. He held way off of its high, but it's still at 0.22% today. So way to go, Quad. eBay. Mamal bought eBay here at 53.30 with the rejection of the 200-day moving average. Held the 200 Friday, was much higher earlier today. It is down now a little bit, but not too much, only 0.15%. And Mamal bought it at 53.30, so she is up on the trade. So good for that. Okay. Let me take a look over here. Okay, Checkpoint Software. Kamal bought Checkpoint Software at 110.80 on Thursday. Had a huge day up on Friday. Very nice. It is down 1% today, but it is still up on the trade. So down on the day, up on the trade. ISRG. Kamal bought ISRG on Friday at 713. It is currently 686.93, down 3.71%. Looks like it's losing the 100 or the 200-day moving average. So down on the day and down on the trade. ELY, Johan bought ELY on Friday at 28.62. That was a nice one there. False breakout to the downside. V2 up 4% today for Johan. Very nice. Way off of its high, but man, that must have been up, what, 8% at one point today? This is Callaway Golf. So way to go, Johan. And then lastly, NIO. Gary sold 2 puts. So these are cash secured puts. Sold the $29 strike price, expiring 3/12, and he also sold the $30 strike price, expiring 3/12. It's 35. It is down 8.16% today. But still above his strike prices of 29 and 30. So Gary just wants those to hold up there. If they do, he'll be able to keep all the premium. If they don't, he'll be required to buy it at 30, but he'll keep the premium. Johan wants to look at CLS. Aha. All right. I'm going to have to look over on my other charts then. Well, so it's a false breakout to the downside. The V1, however, was on the false breakout to the downside, and the V1 was on Friday. We have a 47 RSI. It looks like that rejected the 50 RSI to me, Johan, already. So for me, that's something I wouldn't take. Frank has a poem. Mamal says hi all. Hello, Mamal. Hello, Gary. Hello, David. Nice to see you. All right. Let's see what Frank's poem says today. We know it's going to be good regardless, right? All right. Let me put this on here. All right. Trade the path of least resistance. That's where energy flows at nature's insistence. It helps stocks move with a certain consistence as we protect with stops at a comfortable distance. Wow, how good is that? My Lord. Let's do it again. It's so good. Trade the path of least resistance. That's where energy flows at nature's insistence. It helps stocks move with a certain consistence as we protect with stops at a comfortable distance. Man, that could be your best poem ever, Frank. Dan says, Frank, I can dig it. Hi, Greg and the Gossets. Hey, Dan, good to see you, bud. Morg says, hello, everyone. Hello, Morgs. I longed Ethereum on the 1030 EMA crossover and the 520 EMA crossover confluence, working out so far. Fantastic. I am glad to hear something's working out on a day like today. Although it is if you're in the Dow stocks. And I can't look at those, but way to go, Morgs. Nice to see you and glad to hear about that trade. Johan says, it was looking a bit better a bit earlier. Yeah, I could see that it was higher. Yep, it was higher. Okay, let me take all of this nonsense off. John, good to see you. Not sure if you've already discussed Bitcoin historically has traded at a premium to GBTC has traded at a premium to Bitcoin, but recently has started trading at a discount, about 9% right now. Well, I can't look up GBTC, but I can look up Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin right here. We came into the value zone. We had some sideways motion. We made a lower high. We have not washed out the lows. We did have a V1 on Friday, which is working, but I wouldn't buy here. But yeah, that's interesting. I remember reading something about that discount, John. To calculate Bitcoin price times 0.0094685. Gotcha. So you times that times that. You times Bitcoin's price by that, and that gives you GBTC. Interesting. Interesting. Wow, what a market. So what's happening? Let's take a look. NASDAQ is down 275 points again. Wow. Unreal. Let's take a look quick at current position. So Merck's doing fine. I will be selling half of this today because of the rejection of the 50 RSI. And like I said here, I did hit 4 profit targets, 2 below where the price is, 2 above. But this is why I like to take off a portion of the profits when the market really wants to buy it from me. Because more times than not, in my experience, it will come back just like this is coming back here. But again, I will sell half of this today. SPY, this is just the overnight SPY trade. Did have the nice overnight SPY trade. I will be buying this today at the close. Walmart, this one is down for me. Currently it's 29.47. So it looks like it's under the 30 RSI. If it closed here, I would just have to go ahead and get out because that was my trigger to get in was the under 30 over 30. So if it closes under 30, I'm just going to have to pull the plug, take my lumps. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind getting out with the 29.54 because that's still a fairly small loss. So I'm going to have to watch that one at the end. Qs, I was hoping that this would hold at halfway of the washout bar, which is my stop, but right, that is at 303.40. It's currently 301.50, so I may have to just take my lumps on this one and get out. Excuse me. Steve says, that is a great trade, Morgs. Great backtest on those crossovers for Ethereum and Bitcoin. I can backtest them on TrendSpider from crypto broker data. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I can't backtest any of that on ETF replay. So that's great. So yeah, it looks like TrendSpider just, has a lot of functions, which is wonderful, which is really wonderful. Let's take a look intraday here at the Qs on the 5-minute, see if anything's shaping up here. There is a bit of a divergence. Here we have these lows. Here we have these, the depth of these red bars. Then we go green. Then we have the depth. But this is not half of this. That would make for a better setup. But it does look like we went under 30, over 30, with not a totally legitimate double bottom with a bullish divergence. But anytime the Qs go under 30, over 30, that is legitimate sign. I don't think I would have day traded this, however, if I was day trading this. But hey, it's bouncing off the low, so that's better than nothing, right? Mork says, thanks, Steve. I saw they back tested well on TrendSpider, and when there was also a confluence of signals, I had to make the trade. Excellent. Steve says, buying tech stock charts in the past 6 trading days has been like trying to catch a falling knife between your teeth. It's been very difficult. It has been very difficult. There's obviously a lot of distribution going on with the tech stocks. You know, as interest rates go higher, it hurts stocks that are growth stocks, which are mainly tech stocks. And the multiples of the PEs come down. And so there's a lot of repricing going on right now. And there's a rotation into the large cap industrials and Dow stocks. But the NASDAQ stocks just getting brutalized. Really, 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 really. Okay. So, hey, speaking of Steve Burns, this is a great saying from Steve that I'd like to run past you. It's not a fun saying, but it's something that we may have to deal with a few times a year. And by the way, Steve, you can find Steve at @SJosephBurns over on Twitter. You can also check out his website, newtraderu.com, where he has great e-courses. He has great articles on there. All sorts of good stuff. He has great books. So if you get a chance, newtraderu.com, or check him out on Twitter at @SJosephBurns. So this is from Steve. And again, this is not like a fun thing to have to read, but it is a realistic thing to read. You must accept that you will have 10 trading losses in a row a few times each year. The question is, what your account will look like when they happen. Does that make sense? Yes, a few times a year, you literally might take 10 trades in a row and lose, which is frustrating. It's soul sucking, right? You're patient, you wait for the setup, you buy the setup, it fails again, it fails again, it fails again. I've lost 10 times in a row easily, many, many, many times in my trading career. But like Steve says, the question is, what will your account look like when they happen? Will it look like it was supposed to look like? You position sized, you hit your emergency loss, or you hit your end of day stop. I mean, is the account salvageable at that point? Is it still salvageable? Or did you get frustrated and double up and triple up and quadruple up and make crazy moves because you were frustrated that you had all these trading losses? This is so true. The question is what your account will look like when they happen. The best traders in the world have drawdowns, everyone. There is no doubt about it. There's not a famous trader in the world that has not had a significant drawdown. But how you behave yourself, and are you kind to yourself during those drawdowns? Just remember, they happen. They happen to everyone. They're going to happen to you. Doesn't mean you're a bad trader. It just means you're out of sync with the market. So you must accept that you will have 10 trading losses in a row a few times each year. The question is, what will your account what your account will look like when they happen. And this is from our friend Steve Burns, trader and author. And so thank you for that. I think this is an apropos day to mention this, Steve. And so everyone remember that. It doesn't mean you're a bad trader. It happens to everyone, but just behave yourself during that time. It's okay to have 10 losses in a row. It happens. But what's not okay is to get frustrated and, make a $300 loss, a $1,200 loss because you bought too much, right? So thanks for that, Steve. Dan says, new trader, do your ears ever burn in the morning? Jordan of CTM displays and agrees with your post every so often. He focused most on Bitcoin. I must admit, I'm always proud seeing that. Okay. Well, there's a question for Steve. Morg says KMX looked like it might make all-time highs. Also took the trade on that 520 crossover. Oh, very nice. Oh, yeah, I have you here, Johan. Oh, you took them both. You took the crossover and the V2 yesterday. Wow. Way to go. Fantastic. Fantastic. Steve says, Dan, who is Jordan of CTM? Thanks. Yavar is here. Good to see you, Yavar. Hope you're doing well, sir. Appreciate you coming back. Steve says, that's great. Morgs. Dan says, YouTube channel, Conquer Trading and Investing. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Excuse me. All right. Well, let's take a look. Tell you what, why don't we take a look at the indexes for a minute here as well. So, did the Dow break out to all-time highs? I guess it did, but it failed. You see how we went to all-time highs, but it went above, and now it's below. So it was a false breakout to the downside. What I don't like here, everybody, I don't like that we have this first run up here, this first top with the green, the tall MACD bars. We pull back into the value zone. We pull back into some red. Now look, we are higher, and there's no green to be found. This is what's called a double top with a bearish divergence. It means this move up was stronger from a momentum standpoint. Then we pulled back. Then we have this move up, but this move from a MACD standpoint, the momentum is lacking. There is not even any positive MACD. This is what Dr. Elder would call a double top with a bearish divergence. He would look at this as a bear, and showing that the second move up was not very strong, and the implication of that, if you talk to him, would be that you're running out of buyers, you're running out of momentum, and therefore you're probably going to come back down. Now, does that mean I would go ahead and short this? No, because I still need a trigger. There is a very definitive and legitimate double top with a bearish divergence here, but there's no signal. I have to have like an over 70, under 70, a V1, V2 to the downside, something like that. NASDAQ, wow. Well, this is a NASDAQ composite. It's barely holding on by a thread by the 100-day moving average. It's 35.65 RSI. Went under 30, over 30 on Friday. It's just trying to hold. It'll be very, very interesting to see what happens here and how this NASDAQ closes at the end of the day. S&P, it's a V1 to the downside. It's a rejection of the 50 RSI. Pretty sure. Why don't we go ahead and check? Yep, you can see at the high today, the S&P was up 53.08 on the RSI. Now it is 48.25. So two things going on here. Rejection of the 50 plus a V1. Does it mean I would short this? No, not really, because the day one bar is larger than one ATR. I don't like that. There was a lot of buying here. Most likely, if we continue down, we'll probably get right about to here, and I bet we'll find some support. But that's just a guess. All right, let's take a look at some potential end of dayers. Again, I went over this. Gary has a half position. I have a half position in the Qs. My stop here is at 303.40. That was the V1 on Friday. Rejection of the lows. Close back over the close and the 100-day moving average. If you remember, I said on this particular trade, you could actually have three type of end of day stops. One would be it bounced at the 30, so one would be a close under the 30. Second one would be a close back under the 100, which were well under the 100. The one I picked was halfway the washout bar, which was right here at 303.40. So if it, what is it now? 302.80. So it has come off the lows, but if it does close below 303.40, I will have to go ahead and get out. If it rallies and and you know, we're below halfway the washout bar. If it rallies and closes back above, I will probably add my second position, because the market will have showed me that it tested this 50 Fibonacci point and there were no more sellers under that. But right now, as it is, my line in the sand here is 303.40. If it closes under 303.40, I'm out. If it closes above, I'll probably add the second half of my position and reduce my position size, and then have a very close risk to reward, again, with a close below halfway. So we'll just have to see how that works out. Solar Winds had a nice higher low V1 on Friday. A higher low is when you close below the -1 ATR channel, you rally into the value zone, you pull back, usually have a test of the -1 ATR channel, which happens here, and a V1. Here is bar 1, bar 2 washes out bar 1, closes above bar 1's close. So I would not take the position today. The time to have taken that position would have been on Friday when the V1 triggered. MACD went positive today, so that's a good thing, but I don't think I'm too interested in that. Apple. Well. Let's check out and see how low Apple got today. 31.88. Still has not been able to test the 30 RSI. If it went under the 30, over the 30, under the -3rd, over the -3rd, I would buy it. But I'm not going to just buy this based upon a rejection of the -3rd. It's good. There's no doubt about it, but it's not enough for me to buy. I want it to go under 30, over 30. So even if it closes above the -3rd ATR channel again today, I won't buy it. I do want to point out to you, there are a couple bullish signals starting to form here. Look at this low over here. Look at the RSI, or the Keltner channels. Here's the 3rd, here's the 4th. It got to like 4 7/8, right? Almost got to the 5th ATR channel, but not quite. Now, look over here. We are lower than over here for sure. But do you see how we're only to the -3rd ATR channel? So this is called an ATR divergence. This move down was strong enough that it took us almost to the 5th ATR channel. This move down, even though it is lower, only took us to the 3rd. So that is a divergence. Also, we had an RSI divergence. The RSI here under 30. Now we are lower than that. And you see how the RSI is not under 30? So there is an ATR divergence. And there is also a RSI divergence, which is good, right? It sets the context for the trade. It's kind of showing big picture what the setup is, but I don't see a clear signal yet, unfortunately. MSCI, really don't see anything here, guys. I really don't see anything here. BTI, do not see anything there as well. Tilray is kind of interesting. We have a false breakout to the downside from this low and a V2. Right here would be the V2. Let's see what this close is. This close is 22.52. All right. So, you know, that's pretty decent. What I like about it is it rejected this previous low, and it has a V2, and it rejected the 50-day moving average. I would like it a lot better if it was up here in the value zone, though. I can tell you that. Or I would like it a lot better if this happened at a level like a 30 RSI level. So I don't think this is enough for me to take, but it's, you know, it's fairly decent. If you look at the weekly, we have pulled back quite a bit, way better than buying it at 65. I think we would all agree. When it's 22, But I just don't think it's enough for me to buy this. But you know, I could see how someone would. I would use a close below halfway the washout bar as my stop. So my stop would be about right there if I took the trade. Workhorse. Looks like we went under 30 over 30. Yeah, we went under 30 over 30 on Friday. It's up 12.75%. Wow, that would have been a great under 30 over 30 trigger. It's up 12% today. I don't think I would be chasing it up at these levels at all. Alexandria Real Estate had a nice under 30 over 30 on Friday, under the negative third channel, over the negative third channel on Friday, plus a V1. It's a pretty good signal there. It is up 1.48% from Friday, but I would not be chasing it here now. Next Era Energy. I saw this earlier in the day when it was above the 200-day moving average, and I thought, oh, it's under the 200, over the 200, under the negative third, over the negative third, but now it is given back. It is now under the 200-day moving average. So, boy, not a lot to choose from here. Let's take a look over at Adobe. Yep, Adobe just got slammed down here. It's under 30 RSI. That's no good. Amazon down again. I would definitely keep my eye on Amazon if I could get another test of this 200, if I could get a rejection of the 200-day moving average. It's not down that bad. It's only down 0.7%. So the relative strength is decent. Let me take a look here. Take care of this right here. Apple, I'm looking for an under 30 over 30. I'd really like to buy Apple. I really, really would. There are definitely buyers that come in here at the 30 RSI. Beyond Meat, down also a little bit today. Had a nice V1, had a nice rejection of the 200-day moving average, had a nice rejection of the negative third ATR channel, but I mean, you could buy it. It's holding over the 200-day moving average. I don't like the V1 to the downside. Facebook, we talked about this. I think this is a good example. You know, when the price has stopped respecting the moving averages, then I don't key off of those moving averages. Look, we rejected the 200 here, up, but then we closed under the 200. Then we closed over the 200. Then we closed under the 200. Then we closed over the 200. Then we closed under the 200. Do you see how that's not respecting that anymore? So you have to go lower. My guess is that the 250 moving average, this may command some respect of the price. Who knows? We don't know for sure. But, you know, if you go over, under, then it's lost respect for that moving averages, and you have to go either to a higher time frame or you have to go lower to the next level of support, which would be the 250-day moving average. Yeah, I don't see anything there. Fiverr. Wow. Remember this trade we had on Fiverr? This is a good trade. We bought it here. Had a big run up, but it is given all of it back. If I was interested in Fiverr, I'd be looking down here at the 250-day moving average. Intel had a V1 on Friday. Okay, so I'm having that. Oh yeah, Netflix lost. All right, so Netflix lost its 200-day moving average again today. Boy, NASDAQ down 248 points. This is nasty, everybody. This is just nasty. Dan says, yes, Jordan Lindsay. He has a huge following. Oh, that's the Jordan Lindsay, the CTA. Gary says, Greg, 303.40 is my entry point. I think that's what I have you at, isn't it? $303.40 is my entry point, so I most likely will stay in the queues today. Okay, Love says, Shop is holding above negative third ATR channel and bounced off 30 RSI and 200 SMA on Friday. It still looks like it's in a downtrend though. Thoughts? Let's look at Shop. Okay, I'm going to have to look over here. Yeah, I think, did we look at this on Friday? I see it was too big of a bounce. It was chasey at this point with this big, strong move over the 200-day moving average. We are actually right about halfway of that washout bar, but you know, probably the safer move would be to see if we could get a second intraday rejection or a close under and close back over. But you are right. It is holding above the 30 RSI. It is holding above the negative third ATR channel. It is holding above the 200-day moving average. And incidentally, it's right about halfway of Friday's bar. So, you know, if it was legitimate on Friday, which it was, but it was chasey, it would still be legitimate today. And it would offer you a better risk to reward ratio, but I don't like the movement of the down day. But that's an interesting one. That one could really pay off, but at least it's still a clean trade. You would just know that you would get out with a close below the 200-day moving average if that was the case, or the 30 RSI. David says Apple 200 MA is 114.10. Wondering if that is the next support. $114.10. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would think so. I would definitely think so, that the 200-day would be an excellent place to look to buying Apple if you got a rejection. No doubt about it. Let's look over on the weekly and see what that would look like. I don't know. There's nothing really on the weekly. Maybe down here at 107, somewhere in this area on the weekly. So, you know, you can either look at the lower moving averages below you on one time frame, or you could go to a higher time frame. Take a look at this, you know, right down here at that 50 might be interesting. Let's see if that dovetails with anything on the weekly. Yes, it does. See, the weekly has the one ATR channel there. That's 107.20. So yeah, this may have another $10 in losses to it if it holds to the weekly support here of the 50. Alternatively, and hopefully for those of you that own Apple, the 200-day moving average is at 113.84. So, you know, it's $3 away. That does make more sense that might possibly be the area. But I will definitely be looking for Apple at the 200. If it bounced off the 200 tomorrow, it would also mean that it had rejected the 30 RSI. So Apple is definitely on my radar for tomorrow. All right, Merck. I have to go ahead and sell half of my Merck right now, with the rejection of that 50 RSI above it. So I'm just going to go ahead and sell that right here. Okay, so Merck is done. I've sold half with the rejection of the 50 RSI. SPY, going to be buying that at the close. Walmart definitely looks like it's going to close underneath the 30 RSI. So let me cancel my limit orders. And looks like I'm just going to have to take my lumps on that one. Bummer. What do we have? We have 8 minutes, so I'll wait a little bit. We'll see. Qs definitely looks like they're holding under the halfway of that washout bar, so I will have to be selling those as well. Boy, it's tough. Tough, tough, tough day. And maybe Apple will get down the 200-day moving average. Maybe it will. We shall see. Steve says, I exited KMX here for a 6.26% gain. Awesome. At 129.47 as the RSI approached 67. Risk to reward not as great here as it was on entry. That's true. That goes for most trades, right? The risk to reward is always going to be better on entry than it is after it's moved up. It just, the risk to reward diminishes as it moves away from your original end of day stop and as it moves away from your entry. So you can use other moving averages below you to help compensate for that. But, Steve looked at this. Let's look at KMX. So the 66.86 RSI. So, 90% of prices fail at the 30 RSI. So it just makes sense to me. It makes sense to take the trade while it's there. Could it go up tomorrow? It could. It could continue to go up tomorrow, and maybe Steve would miss out on a little bit, but maybe it would go up and then reverse all the way back down. But, Steve has a really good knack of just exiting at good exit points when he has had enough and he feels comfortable, looking at the big picture. Big picture, it's getting close to the 70 RSI. He had a big up candle bar. I mean, if this were a day trade, for sure I would be taking at least half of this off on a big move like this, right? Well, it's not a day trade. This is an intraday trade. This is an actual swing trade, but it makes sense to me. And 6.26% sounds pretty dang good. All right. Does Walmart have any hope of holding above the 30? I do not know. We shall see. Okay, so it looks like everything's making a low on the day here. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is nuts. So Apple's making a low, Qs are making a low, SPY's making a low. Nice exit, Steve. Really great exit. Okay. I guess I'll go ahead, get rid of my Walmart. And just have to take my lumps for the day. That's it, right? That is just how it goes. So as far as a new trade today, I really don't see it. I don't see anything. I'll be looking for Apple tomorrow near this 200-day moving average. That's what I'll be looking for on Apple. And it could get there. Those things act like a magnet. People are like, well, just like Dave said, hey, where do you think, will Apple maybe bounce at the 200? Probably Well, okay, well, I won't buy and I'll just wait for it to go down there. And a lot of other people are thinking that. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people are thinking that right now. So they take their finger off the buy button and it will become like a self-fulfilling prophecy all the way down there to the 200-day moving average. All right, 3 minutes to go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, get rid of my cues. Take my lumps. All right, I'm done. I got out of half of Merck with the rejection of the 50. I'll be buying SPY here again at the close. I got out of Walmart with the close under the 30. I got out of the Qs with the close under halfway of the washout bar, still holding the 30 RSI. But my stop, I have to stick to it halfway. So tough day. My gosh, NASDAQ's almost down another 300 points. Oh my gosh. VIX is racing up 1 point. That's not that much. 1.5% on a day like today. But VIX is based more upon the S&P, which is not down that much. Well, eBay is holding, the relative strength on eBay is pretty good, holding above the 200-day moving average. So, you know, if I was in this trade, I would be keeping it because it is holding above the 200 for sure. Would I initiate a new position in it? Yeah, it's still legitimate. It's still holding support. All right, that was the close. Wow, thankfully. Holy hamburgers, everybody. My gosh. All right, let's see where I got filled here. All I bought was the SPY today. 381.72. What a day, man. Well, that's part of trading, right? That is part of trading. So I did buy SPY here at 381.72. I sold one half of Merck. I got out of Walmart. I got out of the Qs, and I got out of Apple. No, sorry. Apple was a day trade. So I have two positions. That's all. That is it. Merck and SPY. So listen, if anybody has any of my students have any new entries or exits for me today, just go ahead and put them in the chat. I will get them all updated real quick. Just want to remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I have a 15-hour course, 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. I think it's a really good course. I teach you all 5 of my trading strategies, exactly step by step, exactly how to use them. You're never going to have to think, what do I do? I'm not sure what to do if I did my job correctly as teaching the course. So I have been trading for 25 years. I use these all the time. They've been good to me, and that's what I teach in the course. So if you would like to learn those one-on-one, which by the way, I think is the very, very best way to learn, then all you have to do is send me an email. The email's in the description of this video, or you can send me a message on Twitter. And if you reach out to me, just say, Greg, I'm interested in the course, and I'll reply and say, great, let's set up a Skype call. Skype call's free, no obligation, anything like that. I just want to learn more about you and your trading and your goals. And then it's a good time for you to ask me questions about the course. And when we're done with the call, you can think about it. And if you decide in the future that you want to book it with me, go ahead and do it. The cost is $1,750, which does sound like a lot. I understand that, but you get what you pay for. You really do. And you get a lot of personalized attention. You get 15 hours of one-on-one teaching. And so I definitely think it is worth the price. I think it's worth a lot more than that. Alternatively, I did just create an online video course over on Udemy. It's really good. It's this particular course is called the Deep Dip by Stock Trading Strategy, which is very apropos to what's happening in the market right now. It's funny, when I was making the course, I was like, man, this is so far away from the 200 or the 30 RSIs. They may have to wait. They didn't have to wait too long. We are right back down there. So it's a perfect time for that course. And the link to the Udemy course is in the description. It's very inexpensive. You get a whole lot. You get 9.5 hours of video, PDFs, and teaching from me in the videos for $11, $12, $13. And I've gotten some really good feedback on the course, and it's been a good seller too. So check that out as an alternative. And then lastly, if you did like today's podcast, I really would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It does help keep the channel around, helps build the channel, and helps YouTube know that there's some valuable content here. So, okay, we're all done with that. Let's switch back over and see what everybody's doing. So I know Steve is out of KMX. Beautiful trade, Steve. Lovely, lovely trade. All right. Gary said, I exited the Qs with a 1% loss, sold 1/2 of Merck. Okay, perfect. That's the way to do it. 1% loss is acceptable. Sold 1/2. Same with me. So we'll just put this little bar here showing that we sold 1/2. And I have made it past my 1.5 trailing stop level too. So if I get it closed below the previous day's low, I'd get out of another 1/2. And now that I'm more than 1.5 ATRs away from my entry on it, under 30, over 30, if it ever got back to my entry point, I would just get out at break even on that second 1/2. So, unless this goes gapping way down tomorrow, very likely, no matter what happens, this is going to turn into a profitable trade. All right. So Gary and I are both out of the Qs. All right. Next stop for the Qs, probably the 200-day moving average as well. I imagine some buyers will come in there, but who knows? Frank says, my BWA is similar to Steve's trade. It's up 6.14% with diminishing risk to reward ratios. Likely sell. I don't have your BWA up here. Well, you let me know if you sold it or not, Frank. Johnson's out of Walmart, back to all cash. Yep. So we are both out of Walmart. Sunny says, it's a good day to keep your powder dry. Yes, it is, Sunny. It's nice to see you, by the way. Love that name. ISRG. Kamal is out of ISRG. Johan is out of Eli. Okay. Is that, yeah, out of Eli. And 1/2 of KMX. I think that's a good decision too. Love says, if you buy a deep dip, is a close to the next, okay. If you buy a deep dip, is a close the next day below your trigger a good exit, even if it is above the previous day's low? Okay, let me think about that. If you buy a deep dip, is a close the next day below your trigger a good exit even if it is above the previous day's low? Well, the way that I would look at that, Leva, is if the next day it's below your trigger, oh, even if it is above the previous day's low. Yeah, I mean, look, you could make a case that it, has to go below the previous day's low. Sometimes it's going to work for you. Sometimes it's going to work against you, just like anything else. But I don't like to switch gears in the middle of the trade and go, okay, well, it's below my end of day stop, but it's still not below the previous day's low. Because then you can play mind games with yourself. In my opinion, use your trigger. If it closes below your trigger, just go ahead and get out. Obviously, sometimes it's going to go right back up, and you would have said, oh, I wish I would have used a close below the previous day's low. But other times you're going to get out, and the next day it's going to go crashing down, and you're like, oh, I'm glad I took it. My advice is whatever your trigger is to get in, whether it's under 30, over 30, under 200, over 200, if it closes back below there, just go ahead and get out. And, if, you're like, this is what you're talking about. Right. My end of day stop was a close below halfway the washout bar, but it didn't close below the previous day's low, right? That's what you're talking about, Leva, I think. Just my advice and what I do is if I say if it closes below halfway the washout bar, then I just get out if it closes below halfway the washout bar. Okay, Frank sold BWA. Frank, tell me where you got into that, please, if you're still around. Oh, great. This is one of those ones that it's not updating. Well, I'm going to put this Frank sold 1/2. And then if Frank's still there and he can let me know. TLT did close below the 30 RSI. Man, look at Amazon down another 48 points. My goodness me. All right, so that's all we have. I have Merck. Thank you. That fits with keeping losses small. Yeah, that's true. Because if you lose the previous day's low, then you might get sellers on top of that as well. So purchase price of $47.12. Was that yesterday, Frank, or was that the day before? Seems like he probably would have bought that breakout, if I know Frank, but I could be wrong. Yeah, and look at that. I mean, it's getting up to 68.87. It's getting close to the 70 RSI, getting close to the third ATR channel. If we look over on the weekly, it's getting close to the third ATR channel on the weekly. I'm glad you sold half, really. All right, let's see what's going on after hours in this crazy world. Apple's down 7 cents. Merck's up a penny. Good, good. Q's up 28 cents. SPY up 59 cents. So the Dow Jones ended up 300 points. Makes sense to me. If it's up 600 points, pulling back and holding it halfway of that 600 would be 300, right? And that's exactly where it is. Johnson said, would you consider taking Amazon on a bullish bounce bar above SMA? Yeah, if it bounced at the 250-day moving average, Samuel, is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I almost took this trade Friday because of the exact same thing, but I didn't take it. I took the Qs instead. Luckily, good example of taking one trade a day and not taking, or in the same industry, and not, if I took the Qs and I took Amazon with the same signal, then I would have got doubly beat up, right? So, but yes, I would. If we rejected the 200-day moving average, or excuse me, the 250-day moving average tomorrow, and it gave me a good risk to reward ratio, it would be even better. Like if, I wish I could manipulate this bar in real time, right? But if it did this tomorrow, yeah, I'd buy it for sure. Under 30, over 30, right? Closed barely above the 200-day moving average, giving you a good risk to reward. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. We'll see whether or not we test that tomorrow. My gosh, the NASDAQ, holy smokes. This is a good time to point out, everybody, that, and this happens over and over and over and over and over. When we got up here, all the news was good. The news was good. The headlines were good. Everybody was euphoric, but we got close to the third ATR channel. We got close to the 70 RSI. You remember I shorted the Qs 3 weeks ago here. I did cover on Friday, which I guess I shouldn't have, but that's how it goes. But I still had a nice short trade. But look here on the weekly, above 70, below 70, up at the third ATR channel, bearish divergence, meaning this move up here had strong MACD, then we pulled back, then we had another move up here, very weak MACD. I guess the point I'm trying to make is when you start getting up near the 70 RSI, when you start getting up near the third ATR channel, not every time, but more times than not, it's a good place to hit the sell button. Right? Do it before everyone else does. Look what happens here. Down. Right? Now, okay, this is, maybe on Friday we'll have some kind of weekly setup. I don't know. But we are back in the value zone on the weekly at least. We're in the value zone. On the daily, we are getting close to, oops, that's the 5 minute. On the daily, we're getting close to some support again, 30 RSI. If it goes under 30, over 30 tomorrow, I'll probably buy it again. Looking at this and going, okay, we're at these levels where buyers come in on the daily. If I look over on the weekly, we're in the value zone. So hope that makes sense. But I guess what I was trying to say is when you get up here near the third ATR channel, no matter if the news is good, of course it's going to be good. That's why it's up there. But more times than not, everybody, it is a good place to sell. I studied with Dr. Alexander Elder. I guarantee you, if he had some kind of long positions, he would have been selling up here. Now, he's looking at this pullback and he's probably thinking, oh, time to go shopping again. But what you don't want to do is buy up here, get stopped out down here, which is the place that's probably going to go right back up again. Do you see what I'm saying? So anyway, I hope that makes sense. A lot of these years just went up and up and up, and I kept saying this kind of stuff, and it was kind of like, peeing into the wind. But I've done this a long time. I have seen these things happen again and again and again. And so just my best advice to everybody, if you start getting up to the third ATR channel, 70 RSI, you see divergences, more times than not, it's a good time to push the sell button. All right, so let me leave you off with this. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. Hey, if you got beat up today, use it as an excuse to go out and do something even nicer for somebody, right? Really give them a hand. Really be pleasant, right? Even if you had a bad day, try to make their day better. And it will make their day better, and making their day better will make your day better. And also, if you could do that for an animal, I would really appreciate that. I'm a big animal lover, of course. I think most people know that, but they have feelings too. And it will make their day better as well. And having a happier animal is better than having an unhappy animal. So if we do one nice thing for a human, one nice thing for an animal each day, it's going to make the world a better place, and it's going to make you feel good. And win-win-win all around, right? All right, Kamal says, thank you, Greg. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you, Kamal. Appreciate that. I wish the same for you. Gary says, thanks, Greg. Have a great day, all. So it's been pretty brutal market, especially in the NAS. It has been pretty brutal market, but you know how it is. Things will go back up eventually, maybe, hopefully, right? But all we can do, take those clean setups. I didn't see a setup I liked today, so I just didn't take it, right? Nothing wrong. The days I don't take trades are the days I probably am happiest about my trading abilities. Does that make sense? Right? You don't have to take a trade every day. Lova says, thank you for everything. Thank you, Lova. Appreciate that. Johan says, thanks, Greg, and everyone. Have a great day. Nice trades today, Johan, on CarMax. And what was your other one? It was the golfy one. What's the golfy one? Oh, you got out of it. Yeah, you got out of it. All right. I'm glad to see BYD up for Tracy and Paxton. Glad to see Home Depot up for Gary with his puts. All right. Have a good rest of your day. Go out and do something nice, please. Be good. Be safe. Drive safe, please. Oh, yeah. ELY. Yeah, I took that one off. Yep. All right. Good. Okay. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see what happens with this crazy market. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance, Result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity.